Welcome back to Kinisi, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. Hey, gorgeous. And there's Bo. I have Bo and I have Knight. Knight is like a crossbred Newfoundland Labrador, and Bo is like a Spaniel. We don't really know what Bo is, but he's just gorgeous. He's like a Springer Spaniel Terrier type of thing. He's gorgeous. Hopefully, if you're watching this video now, you would have seen my first video on... Hi, gorgeous. You would have seen my first video on beginner's guide to stretching and extensions. This one right now is about working the core, plus a couple of flexion exercises, as well as a boomerang right at the end. So get your mat ready. Let's do this. So the last video that we looked at, we were basically covering some extensions and some stretches. Today we're going to work the abs, we're going to work the core, chest and the rest of it now. So we're going to come down to the mats. We're going to bring the knees in towards the chest. This is our double knee tuck. This is a really good rest period as well for the abs. It helps to press your lumbar, your back tissue down here, into the mat. So this is our double knee tuck. I can also stretch out the top of the spine by bringing head down to the floor. But if this is too intense now, I just keep the head raised up. So knees are pressed into the chest. Keep the left leg exactly where it is. We're going to lock out that right leg. There we are. Now we're going to alternate from one side to the other. We're going to exhale here. Going to breathe in there. Exhale there. Okay, let's go for it. We're going 1, and then we're going 2. I've got the head and shoulders nice and high off the mat. Keeping the core engaged as well. Top of the back is scooped. Good flexion stay here for the thoracic. There's 1, and there's 2, and there's 1, and there's 2, and there's 1, and there's 2. Okay, back to left leg tucked in, right leg locked out. Left leg tucked in, right leg is locked out. From here, left leg comes out to the left. This is now going to help stretch your adductors inside of the thigh right there. Now we're going to take a thoracic stretch. You take your right hand, goes onto your left knee, right foot comes down to the floor, left leg will sweep across the body. Head and shoulders stay down to the ground, left arm is out by the side, and we're going to hold that stretch. This is our thoracic stretch. Also very good for the glutes in the leg that's crossed. And again, I'm trying to do the stretch now so both my shoulders are down onto the floor. You might find, if you're beginning with this one now, as you apply the pressure to the knee, you're going to start to raise that shoulder. That's incorrect. We need to make sure both the shoulders are flush and I'm holding that stretch. Okay, back to middle. Right leg tucked in, left leg locked out. Same thing to the other side. At the beginning, your left leg is suspended in the air. Your right leg is tucked in, your left leg is suspended like this. Right leg comes out to the side, away from my left leg. Again, this is for the adductors inside of the thighs. Also forms good compression for your abductors on the hips. Okay, now we take left hand. That goes onto the right knee. Your left leg now comes down to the floor. Same thing, right leg now sweeps this side. Again, head and shoulders are down to the floor. I'm a bit restricted with the cupboard here. But the head is down, shoulders are down, hand is out by the side. And I'm holding. And again, you'll feel the stretch in your glutes and thoracic. Back to middle. So that's a really good stretch. The thoracic stretch is great for your core, it's great for your spine, and the way it works is your cervical is grounded, which is the top of the back. Both shoulders are down to the floor, your lumbar's raised, which means the restriction is directly in thoracic, right there, hence thoracic stretch. Brilliant stretch you can do every day as well. Okay, let's take a glute stretch. We're back down to the floor. Core's coming up soon. Left leg crosses onto the right knee. Left leg to the right knee. Your left hand goes through the middle of the legs, onto the back of the right knee. You notice how I bring the foot off the floor. Right hand then into locks. Very simple stretch, but again, very good for the glutes and lower back. So my left leg goes crossed, left hand through the middle, interlocking fingers. It doesn't go on the outside, you want to make sure it goes through the middle. And again, I can intensify the stretch. I can bring the head down, helps to stretch out the spine, and again, I'm holding there. You might start to feel that pinch in the left leg. Again, very good for glutes and lower back. Couple of second hold here. I'm going to switch to the other side. And there's a reason we're stretching glutes and lower back. Even though we're working core, there is a reason here. I'll explain it in a second. Right leg now onto the left knee, right hand through the middle of the legs, again onto the back of the left knee, we're interlocking, and again we're stretching back. Okay, good stuff. I'm going to bring that foot down. So the reason it's very, very important to stretch out the legs and the lower back tissue is because when we perform some core exercises, they create extensions for your lower back. So an extension now would be like a cobra, which we looked at in the first video, but majority tend to be flexion, but there are some which are extensions. So we want to make sure that we're stretching out the back as well, because that does come into play. We do start working those muscles, as you're going to find out now. Okay, so we are going to go to core. We're going to start hopefully with a straightforward one. These are called toe taps. And again, Pilates is really simple physics. If you have a small surface area, you tend to find there won't be so much of strain or tension on the midsection, the core. If you increase your surface area, it's going to put more stretching on your back and your abs. So we're going to start fairly small. Toe taps are a really good way to start, very straightforward. The trick now you want to remember is you just move from your hips and nowhere else. We're only moving from the hip joints. Hands come down onto the mat, head and shoulders grounded. I can keep the knees and feet together. I'm going to have the legs near enough at 90 degrees here. I'm going to take a deep breath in. I inhale through the nose to this lift. As you breathe in, you're going to feel your lower back tissue press into the mat, that's your number. And then you're going to exhale, feet come down. And keep in this position here with the legs. Feet come down. As they touch the floor, you're going to develop that extension I was just talking about with your lower back. In some cases, you can actually pass your hand through your back. That's perfectly normal. That's extension now for your back. So we're working core and also extending the back tissue. So I have the feet down to the ground here. I'm keeping that position with the legs. Hands getting down by the sides. Inhale through the nose, breathe in. That presses my spine again into the mat. Exhale to here. Again, creating a great extension for lower back and working those lower abs. This is more of a warm-up for lower abs for some people. For others, this might be enough. Breathe in. Exhale. I'm breathing in with my lift. I inhale through the nose. I exhale through the mouth. Feet drop down. There's my extension with the lower back. And there's my neutralizing there with the spine as the feet are raised. There we are. Hand placement down by the sides. Inhale with that lift. Exhale with a drop. Breathing in. And exhaling. Also good for your hip flexors. Your hip flexors are going to warm up as well with these ones. Breathing in. And again breathing out. Okay. And again, if you do come to any of my classes, you'll notice I very rarely work with numbers because I'm a real strong believer in quality over quantity. So it's really, really important, especially when you work with the back, that you don't worry about so much with the numbers, because if you concern yourself with the numbers that you're trying to do, you tend to lose the technique. And when you work with the back, it can be very, very dangerous. So what I would always advise is you just try and do as best as you can, keep the quality to 100%. At any point if you find that you're losing it or you're getting too tired, you stop and you reset. And like I said before, a double knee tuck like this is fantastic for when you're working core. So if I bring the feet in like this, it's pressing my lumbar into the mat. If I do a couple of exercises like this, and I'm getting tired, and I rest down and I drop the legs, I'm still extending my lower back. So I'm getting a little bit of a breather, but I am extending lower back. If I bring the knees in, that presses my lumbar to the mat. So I'm going to get more of a stretch here, more relief like this. Okay. So we did the toe taps. We're now going to go for a lockout with the legs. These are leg raises. These are fairly challenging. If you find these are too much, you just keep your legs bent. So our second exercise, hands are down just by the glutes, legs are locked. We're in shot. Again, I can keep it down to the floor, spine's nice and neutral. I breathe into here, I exhale to there. Boom, there we are. Nice and straightforward. Inhale, exhale. A little bit of finesse here with the feet as well. I can flex and extend the feet. I can breathe in, point the toes. Exhale, flex back. Breathing in, pointing toes. Exhale, flex back there. Inhaling. Exhale. We're breathing in. And out. Breathing through nose with a lift. Exhale to drop. As the legs raise, we press the spine into the mat. As we drop the feet, we're extending lower back again for those abs as well. Breathing in there with a lift, exhaling with a drop. There we go. Nice deep breath in with a lift. exhale back. Notice I'm not going too high up, they're not at 90 with the body, I'm stopping around about the 50 degree there, 45, 50, and then dropping back down. Pointing the toes, just a bit more finesse, exhaling back. Okay, my last lift here, breathing in. Exhale to there. Again, not going to rest the feet down, but I'm going to take that double knee tuck for the relief. There's my relief there. I can also bring head down, help neutralize the spine a bit more as well. Good stuff. Okay, so we've done 2 taps and we've done our leg raises. And the great thing with Pilates, you tend to find, is lots of these exercises, when you're engaging your core, you're also stretching out your back at the same time. So when we're working, for example, the midsection we're going to do now, you're engaging your thoracic. One we just did was working lumbar tissue and lower abs. Hands go onto the thighs, head and shoulders down. We're going to use this portion of the legs here as a rail. So we're not going to grab the knees and lift. I'm going to use as much core as I can. I'm going to try and get the shoulders as high as possible, excuse me, but staying on thoracic. If I go too high to here, I've lost it from the core. That is an exercise, but it's not this one here. Hands onto the thighs, head and shoulders down. We're going to take a deep breath in as we travel to the knees. I inhale through the nose, shoulders go nice and high, stay on thoracic. Breathing in and out. Inhale to lift, exhale back. Inhaling, exhale. Breathing in and out. And again, the more you do these exercises, the less you're going to feel the pull with the neck. Sometimes you might start to feel that pull there with the neck. The best way to really combat that is to try and do as many of these as you can, of course, maintaining quality. But again, it strengthens those abs, works your body as well. Breathe in, exhale back, and that neck pain will disappear. Of course, if it's too much, you just stop. You listen to the body and stop when you need to. Get a deep breath in, exhale back. Inhaling, exhale back. Great flexion for the back as well. Inhaling, exhale back. There we go. Nice high shoulders. Not going up to glutes. I'm staying on thoracic. Really important as well. I stop there. I don't go any higher. Again, trying to avoid that lift. Stay on thoracic. Last one. Deep breath in. Exhale back. Head comes down. Slight relax here. Just give the neck a little bit of a breather. And again, I can take that double knee tuck. Here we are. Okay. So, we're going to bring the feet back down to the floor. Again, head and shoulders nice and high. We're going to keep this moving now. We're going to go now to our obliques. We've worked our lower abs, midsection. Now we're going to work the obliques. And again, this is more beginner style. There's plenty more exercises we can cover, but I'm trying to keep the videos fairly short here. Head and shoulders are nice and high, feet are grounded, knees raised. We're going to exhale. I'm going to stay again on thoracic. I'm going to drop down to this foot. I breathe out. Inhale, exhale to the other side. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. If I can't get to the feet, I have the feet closer to the body, so it's easier to get down towards the feet. Again, it's like a motion here with the back, and there's a reason I'm doing that as well. We're exhaling, inhaling, and we're exhaling. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Notice shoulders are nice and high as well. Keep your midsection engaged. Inhale, exhale. Okay, and the reason I was mentioning about having the motion there with the back is because we're also creating flexion again for your spine. So if you can imagine the way your back is working, as we exhale one side here, that turn works the flexion of the back, the thoracic part of the back there, opens up the vertebra and also allows the discs to breathe and everything else. So I'm inhaling to the middle, exhale, there's my flexion for the back. Flexing the spine this way, back to the center. So there's some really good core exercises there you can work with your abs. You've got your lower abs, midsection and top, different exercises, of course obliques as well, and a warm up with the hip flexors. So we're going to just do a few bridges now. Hands again come down by the sides, feet are grounded. We take a nice deep breath into this lift, raising hips up. 2-3 second hold here, exhale back. Grounding hips. Okay, deep breath in, we're lifting. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale back. So this is now very good for our hip flexors, even the quads as well, muscles here in the front of the thighs. They also get good stretch. Great for lower back tissue, even triceps to a degree do get stretch as well, depending on how hard press into the mat. But again, this is very good now for also if you have any back issues with your lumbar tissue. So great stretch. Breathe in, always inhale with the lift, exhale back with the drops. Okay, and again I'm breathing in. Exhale back. And again, nice deep breath in, lifting. Exhale back. Okay, another 2 for me. Deep breath in. Exhale back. I'm going to take my last one now. Nice deep breath in, lifting hips nice and high. 2-2-second hold. And we're back. And again, that double knee tuck to finish there. Great stuff. Okay, so we're going to just briefly look at now, it's a boomerang, it's a great flexion stretch, and it's called a plow in yoga. There's actually a few different names for this exercise, but it's a fantastic flexion stretch. It takes lots and lots of practice. For some people can pick up fairly quickly, but it does take practice, and there's so many different sequences you can use with this exercise. The reason we do now the boomerang is because it helps again stretch out your lower back tissue. So another flexion exercise, the complete opposite to a cobra, which is of course an extension that we looked at in the last class. So what we're going to try now is a boomerang, but before we do the boomerang, we're going to do a thoracic stretch with a V-sit. And if we really combine those two exercises together, you're near enough halfway to actually being able to perform a correct boomerang. So we're going to start with a V-sit. We do V-sits to work our balance, work our core, coordination, the rest of it here. We're going to cross the feet, hands go under the thighs, and we're going to hold here. Spine is fairly neutral, not too straight. I want to make sure there's a slight flexion here. I'm resting on glutes. Okay, so now from here, the idea is we uncross the feet, we lock out the legs, and we try and hold there. So I've got the legs nice and straight, core's engaged, hands are not on the floor at all, just balancing on glutes. If this is too much for me to work with, if I find it's too intense, what I can do, again, like I said earlier, is decrease my surface area, and then we take the pressure off the abs. This is a bit more easier to hold. Also, lower back's not strained here. But if I can, I want to try and lock. Breathing through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Breathing through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Breathing through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Now, I come into my V-sit, exactly how I started. Still just on glutes, feet raised off the floor, hands under the thighs. Okay, again, uncross the feet, try and lock, bring the body down slightly, and keep the legs locked if you can, but like I said, if you need to, have the legs slightly bent. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhaling, exhale. Inhaling, exhale. Breathing in, and back to here. I'm going to take my last one. Again, great for core and balance. And this is my final V-sit now, uncrossing, and there's my lock. Boom. Okay, from here, right back into my V-sit like this. Good stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the thoracic roll. We're going to try and get near enough towards the end of the mat here. You're going to roll to the top of the spine, come forward, back into V-sit. So again, I'm trying to stop before the feet touch the floor to really make sure I keep that core engaged. Rolling and coming forward. Abs engaged to stop the feet touching. Rolling back and forward. Again, great for core. This is a flexion exercise, the thoracic roll, rolling just beneath the cervical there. And I'm finishing again onto lumbar and glutes. There we are. If I struggle with the boomerang, this is an exercise I want to keep trying to work with. I want to try and do as much of this as I can, and I want to curl as much as possible to avoid the back slapping. Sometimes you hear the back hit the floor. That's because the back isn't curved enough. You want to try and curl as much as you can, like a ball. Okay. So now I've covered them, I'm going to try the boomerang. So again, does get fairly complicated, but once you've done this a few times, it's really not too bad. The boomerang, also called the plow, again, a few different names. Ultimate flexion. Hands come down, launch back. We're going to lock out legs. I'm going to bring the body down here slightly further. Hands come down, launch back the legs, and we're going to rest onto the head there. So I've got the legs nice and straight. This now is engaging the thoracic here. This is flexion. Hamstrings being engaged because my legs are nice and straight. And if I flex the toes back as well, it's going to help engage the calves. Opens up the sciatic nerves. Hands do stay on the floor. I'm just showing you now with this hand what we're working. But we keep hands down to the ground and the legs are locked. Again, 5-second hold is long enough. From here, I bend the knees in, slowly roll out, back into V-sit that we just did. Okay, again, launching back, just a few of these practice runs here. Again, great stretch for the legs and the back. Bend the knees and back into V-sit. There we are. And the more confident you get with this, you can really start to play around the exercise. It's a brilliant one to work with. For example, now I can try and get the feet down to the floor. So if I uncross the feet again, I'm going to go back to boomerang. And now from here, slide push, feet come down. Knees in, rolling out, back into V-sit. Last one. Going back, feet to floor. Bend the knees, rolling out into V-sit. Boom, just like that. And there we go, that's our second class. So, watch the video a couple of times, work with the core. Again, brilliant now for working your abs, those exercises, and they cover the main areas, plus we have the boomerang there as well. So far we've really covered some intros to extensions and stretches. There are more stretches, of course there's more stretches, but for now we're going to just work with what we have. We've looked at some flexion work there and some core work. So there's 4 main areas we've looked at, plus of course that boomerang as well. So have a go with them, try and combine them now with the first video that I did, the one I did last week. And you'll end up with a really nice sequence of exercises. Of course I'm going to do more videos along the way. We're going to look at more now isometrics in the next video. So an isometric now will be static holds basically, and we're going to start combining them into sequences. So that's the next step now. So give them a shot. Let me know how you get on as well, and do remember as well to like and subscribe if you can to this channel, because you'll notice by now this channel is really dedicated to my passions, which are fitness and the mountains, calisthenics and climbing, my main areas. So and of course Pilates is a form of calisthenics. So check out the channel, check out some other videos, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day. Yeah, boom, just like that.